Alright, what's going on, guys? It's GSR here. So let's talk a little bit about Johnny Cage's reset. So there's two different ways that you can set this up. More than likely a third way, and the third way is going to cost a lot more resources, especially if you successfully hit the opponent. You won't get as much damage, not unless you're using the fatal blows, to keep that in mind. This will be a jailing situation. So what you're going to end your combo with is Johnny Cage's forward 2-1. And his hit advantage is 16 frames, right? Now, I don't really use this reset all the time because I don't really care about playing competitively all like that. But when I do use it, I see if the opponent knows about it. And there's a lot of times where they would end up getting hit and then they would just randomly break because it threw them off, right? And it resetted the damage. So it'll take like 60+% if they end up getting hit with the full fatal blow cancel situation and stuff like that, and if they don't break, of course. So one of the ways of setting this up is by doing the standard one, and as you can clearly see, Scorpion is jailed, right? Which means the only thing you can do in a situation like this is what? Block or potentially flawless blocking, right? So as you can clearly see, Scorpion is neutral crouching, right? So if I go for my standing 2-4-4, as you can clearly see, Scorpion cannot break out, right? So you can clearly see that whiffs, 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 right? So this is very important stuff to understand. So this is where stuff gets really interesting. So since the player knows for a fact that they're jailed and there's nothing they can do except for block a flawless block, they might try and attempt a flawless block situation. But before I show you guys that, I want to help you guys understand something, right? See how Scorpion is blocking right here? I'm going to show you something. If I go for a standing 1, it completely whiffs as soon as I go for the standing 1, right? That's very important to understand. So I don't want you guys trying to go for this, right? And then you think you could just stand your ground like that and then go for the standing 1 because it completely whiffs. If I go for a throw, as you can clearly see, it completely whiffs as well. So what you can do is you can go for an instant dash throw is what I like to call it. And you want to delay when you're about to hit the opponent after you go for the 4-2-1. See what I did there? I waited for a brief moment. So that's very important because if you do it correctly, you can make it very difficult for them to pinpoint what you're going to do. And you can basically go for the 1-2-1 if you want to. It's really up to you. But like I said, you want to time this correctly. You want to delay the hit, right? And then you want to dash up like this, and then you want to immediately throw. Like you want to, like, as soon as you dash up, like as soon as you see Johnny Cage kind of like move a bit, then you want to immediately input the throw, just like that, right? But you want to time it. That's the only thing, because you want to wait until the opponent recovers a little bit, because they're going to respect if you condition them to respect the standing 2-4-4, and what'll happen is that this will open up a lot of different options for Johnny Cage at that point. So this is just a very good option to go for, because if you think they're going to block, you can dash up and throw them. And this will also shut out their ability to try and flawless block you, but I'm going to show you like what you can do once I show you this throwing situation, because I'm trying to multitask here. So hold on. See how quick that was? So if you time that correctly, just like that, it's basically an instant dash throw, and like they're not going to be able to like respond to that because they're going to be so focused on you jailing them, or they're going to be focused on flawless blocking you potentially, right? If they know that you're going to go for the standing 2-4-4 and not forward dash. Now, if they know you're going to forward dash a little bit, they could possibly poke you or uppercut you, or they could hit you with a standing 1. It is kind of possible because you are taking your turn to a certain degree, because you are forward dashing in a sense, but they're still jailed, so they have to watch out from that, because even when you dash forwards, you're able to hit them with a 1-2-1, right? And this creates a really interesting situation. So if they get hit with the last hit, they'll take 18%. If you decide to use a bar, they'll take 22%. If they end up letting go after the first hit, and they get hit with like the second hit, they'll take 20%, and then obviously like they'll end up taking even higher damage. So hold on. Okay, there we go. I don't know what's going on right there. Why is it not coming out? There we go. Alright, and they'll take 24%, almost 25%. And then as you can clearly see, there's distance and hit advantage and etc. Right? So they need to understand that. But they're probably going to let go of block because they don't want to deal with a plus frame situation. A lot of people think that being +1 on block, by the way, because this is something that I'm going to mention real quick. A lot of people think being +1 on block or blocking a +1 situation is not a big deal. But on a competitive level, it actually is. And I have a video that I'm currently working on where this plus frame can be very useful. But I'm showing it off with Kotal Khan, right? So be on the lookout for that video because I'll probably drop it soon once I get some more time to do so. So we're going to get to where things get pretty interesting. Now keep in mind, my throw whiffs, my standing 1 whiffs, not unless I go for like a forward dash and I input my standing 1, which will still gel the opponent, by the way. So I'll just show you that real quick. So I'll just do it this way. See what I mean? See, he can't avoid that, right? You're 2+1 hit in order for them to avoid it. So this is where things get interesting, right? So I'm showing you this for a reason, because when your character is +3, +2, +1 on block on their standing 1 and standing 2, it is very possible for you to bait a flawless block attempt. And I cannot stress this enough. What's very important to understand about this is that this is different per matchup. Some characters will be able to stop Johnny Cage from committing into the standing 2-4-4, and certain other characters just won't be able to do that. They'll just get beat out where they have to resort to their up 3. And certain up 3s in this game are really unsafe on block, and certain ones are actually pretty safe. Such as Scorpion's up 3, which leaves him -2 on block. But if you flawless block it, he becomes more minus on block. So the choice is actually yours if you want to make him more minus on block, or you want to up to him so you can get a combo. And just as long as you have resources and you're managing your meter correctly, because there will be times where you ran out of a bar meter and you just want to flawless block him and that's it, and he'll become -7 to where he has no choice but to respect. Not unless he predicts ahead of time of what you're possibly going to do. So this is where things get very interesting, like I said. So I have Scorpion on the situation where he can flawless block. Now keep in mind, even if you delay or go for late, you're still going to get hit regardless. So just keep that in mind. So Scorpion has a standing 2 that starts at 13 frames. And that's not quick enough, right? So we look at Johnny Cage's standing 2-4-4, right? The hit starts up at 11 frames, which is obviously 2 frames faster than Scorpion's up 2, which start up at 13 frames. So you can already tell where this is about to go. So for one, I can either bait him like that, or I can beat him out, and there's nothing he can do about that. And since he doesn't have a defensive bar, I still have enough time to possibly and potentially put him into a combo. Now, the other way to put this reset to use is by launching the opponent. This is the other one that I did not show yet. So if you hit the opponent with like an uppercut crushing blow or a nut punch crushing blow, and you have your Shades crushing blow still at your disposal, what you can do is that you can restand them and then go directly into a reset, right? So let me show you real quick. See that? Now Scorpion is -11 on block, which means that we can block it and then just punish him accordingly, but we don't really have to deal with this up 2 because it's slower than our standing 2-4-4, or mainly the multi-hitting kicks that Johnny Cage has access to after he goes for the standing 2-4-4. Now, what I want to show you guys real quick for people who don't understand frame data or at least don't understand what's happening here, right? When it comes to move data and frame data, this is a very big thing to understand. See where it says move data and frame data for the standing one? This stuff is talking about his standing one. When it comes to the 1-2, the move data and frame data is talking about the second hit of this combo string that is now a combo string. And then they're talking about the third hit, or the third hit here, excuse me, when it comes to Johnny Cage's 1-2-1, right? When it comes to the 1-2-4, they're talking about the third hit. When it comes to the standing 2 4-4, they're talking about the 4-4. They're not talking about the first hit here because the first hit is right here, right? The frame data and move data is talking about the first hit right there. And then they're talking about the fourth hit of this move, which is the up 4, right? So this is very important information to understand, and hopefully this is actually really helpful for you guys just in general. So there's that. Now, as you can clearly see, Scorpion was not able to, he wasn't able to hit Johnny Cage at all, right? And like I said, there's no reason to like go for this because you'll be taking chip damage. And I mean, you could still punish Scorpion regardless, but it's like, why take any form of chip damage? Why take that when you could just commit into the standing 2-4-4? Now, if the Scorpion player predicts that you're going to go for the standing 2-4-4, right? What'll happen is that they'll commit into the up 3 because that's the only option that they have, right? And as you can clearly see, Scorpion's up 3 is 9 frames. And, all up 3s can beat out Johnny Cage's standing 2-4-4. However, the thing to take of note from this particular situation is that this can be baited, right? And this is what's scary about being in a plus frame situation, because in a way you're stuck into a frame trap. I can use this to apply pressure, manipulate what I'm going to do, manipulate where I'm going to be. I can also create new neutral ground. I can also bait you, all that extra shit, right? So this is technically a frame trap to a certain degree, right? So this is very important stuff to understand. So if I predict that Scorpion is going to do this, right? What I can do here, right, is I can block it, and he is -2 on block, right? Now, Scorpion has access to a 7-frame down 1 and a 7-frame standing 1. So obviously he's going to go for one of these two options because they're his fastest buttons. So his standing 1 and down 1, which both start up at 7 frames, will no longer be 7 frames on startup if he decides to go for an Abare after you block Scorpion's up 3. It'll come out at 8, 9. So it'll come out at 9 frames. So if you do 7 plus -2, you add those minus frames to the next startup time of the next one that you decide to use. Then Scorpion standing 1 and down 1, which both start up at 7 frames, will no longer be 7 frames on startup. It will come out at 9 frames. Which means if Scorpion was to take it upon himself to go for this Abare, my standing 1 would beat him out because my startup time is 7 frames, so I'm 2 frames faster than his standing 1. And then my standing 2 will beat Scorpion out, even though it starts up at 8 frames, but it'll beat him out by 1 frame. Right? Now, what Scorpion can do to beat me, since he's safe enough to disrespect my highs, he can neutral crouch and then punish me, or he might be able to get one of these off, possibly, right? It might be possible, right? So, me as a Johnny Cage player, I have to take this under consideration, and I have to know this type of information, especially if I'm going to play on a very high level, right? So, keep this in mind. Now, one of the things that you can actually do, right, with Johnny Cage is that you can do what exactly? You can actually flawless block Scorpion. So I'll just do the shorter version real quick to show you guys what I'm talking about. So right here, right, you want to practice every up 3 in the game, including up 2, so that way you understand the speed of it. And then once you get used to it, then you'll see that it starts to slow down a little bit for you because your eyes start to get dry if you're focused. So what I'll do is I'll do the shorter version, like that. So hold on. See that? And Scorpion becomes -7 on block. So this means that Scorpion would have to respect, because if he doesn't, his startup time is going to get him fucked up. Because if he goes for an Abare, because if you do 7 plus -7, what's that? That's like 14 frames, I think. Yeah. So that's not good at all. Like, that's terrible, actually. Like, him challenging with a poke, or anything like that, it wouldn't go well. Now, he might be able to disrespect Johnny Cage's highs, possibly. But I noticed, like, when it comes to -7 situations and you have a 7-frame normal, it's easy for you to get hit if you try to attempt a neutral crouch situation, right? So like I said, 7 plus minus 7, that is 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Like I said, 14 frames. This is not good for Scorpion. This is actually really bad for Scorpion. Now, he might be able to disrespect your highs. And, you know, that could play into effect. Or that could go into effect. I don't know why I said it like that. That was my bad. But you kind of see, like, what's happening here, right? So, what Johnny Cage can do is, right, is like, if he doesn't want to deal with the Scorpion potentially going for a Mabare, if, you know, what Johnny Cage can do here is that he could just do this and then go for whatever fancy combo that he wants, as long as he has the resources to do so. So now, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to go to a different character. Now, the matchup with Cabal has no choice but to go for his up 3. And I'm going to show you guys what I'm talking about with real quick, right? And then I'll show you, like probably 1 or 2 more characters, because I'm teaching you guys this information for a reason, because I don't necessarily use this information that I already know from a long time ago, maining Johnny Cage. I don't really use this information. Even the video that I'm going to be working on with the Kotal Khan situation, you're going to notice that I know my shit, but I don't care enough to use it online, because I don't care when it comes to the competitive side all the way. Because I made that very known back in the past, but for some weird reason people seem as if they don't believe what I'm saying, but I'm telling you right now, I don't really care. How is it that I know this information, but I'm not applying it online? Like, I'm not actually using it online. Don't you think that's kind of weird? So anyway, I digress, right? So if Cabal attempts to go for his hook punch, right, as you can clearly see, he can punish me, right? Now, it starts up at 11 frames, but he's -10 on block. See that? So if I do a shorter version, right, if I commit into this, it'll beat it out. However, if I bait it, I'm going to beat him out. See that? Now, if Cabal was to go for his up 2, I'll show you that real quick. See how Cabal's startup time is 12 frames, which means that I'm 1 frame faster than him. So watch this. See that? See how he's getting beat out and shit like that. So now I'm going to show you 2 more characters, and then I think that's going to be it. Now, there are characters in this game with a very short range up 2 and up 3, such as Shang Tsung. So what I'll do is that I'll pick Shang Tsung real quick. Which I feel bad for Shang Tsung in a sense, because his range on his up 2 and up 3 is unbelievable. Like, how do you expect him to flawless block in this game? Like he would have to flawless block certain combo strings and stuff like that. So I'll show you this real quick. So hold on. So if I was to do the full reset, right? Like the little reset combo. See how, like, he whiffs? You see that? Like, I don't really have to worry about that, and that sets up an opportunity for me to hit him with a nut punch, KB, because, you know, it's not gonna work out in his favor. See how, like, I don't even have to worry about that. So Johnny can take advantage of this matchup very easily with his reset. And Johnny Cage can bait this, so hold on. And like I said, he can bait any up 2 and up 3 attempt in the game, but as you can clearly see, his recovery is 25 frames, right? So it's like, if I know for a fact that I'm gonna fuck you up, because you're gonna commit into this because you don't know anything about it, and then you go for whatever fancy combo that you want. So this is a very scary situation for Shang Tsung. So the smart thing for Shang Tsung to do is use his up 3 when he thinks ahead of time that Johnny Cage is going to commit into the standing 2-4-4, he would have to know for a fact that Johnny Cage is going to do that, because Johnny Cage can bait this and take advantage of it. But there's one more thing that I didn't even show you guys about Johnny Cage's reset. Johnny Cage will become +5 on block if you do this reset correctly, meaning like, you know, you dash up, you don't drop it or anything like that. You're going to see what I'm talking about very shortly here. So this changes his frame data dramatically, and I mean dramatically because he gets access to a 9-frame mid, which is his advancing forward 4, right? So if I turn this off for a brief moment, right? So hold on. Okay. Also, another thing, you want to go for the 3-4, so hold on. Let me see if I can get it. Because I forgot to mention this, but before I show you that, let me show you this real quick. Because I'm trying to get everything in this video. See how like I'm +4? In other matchups, he becomes +5. So I want to see if like I can actually get this off to where he is +5. Okay. So let me just space it out a little bit. In certain other matchups, he will become +5 on block, but you kind of get the idea, right? Now, the reason why I say you want to go for this is for this reason. See the damage on that? I get 30% there. However, I'm losing damage. I'm losing damage. I'm losing damage. I'm losing damage. Same thing applies with this right here. You want to dash up a little bit more. This one's easier to do because the opponent's still stunned, and as you can clearly see, you'll get the most damage as possible. That's another thing that I wanted to show you guys. But now I'm going to show you Jax's little slam thing right here. So hold on. I'll turn that off. Okay. Is it on? Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot the flow spot. So Jax is -8 on block. So I'll just do the shorter version. Oh, I fucked that up. So as you can clearly see, Jax can immediately do that. But the problem with him doing that is that he's like really minus if he flawless block this. But not only that, he's already minus on block when he does this. Which, see that? See how I flawless block that? I can punish him really badly for that. I can go for like a reversal nut punch if I want to. And then I can go for my 1-2-1 if I want to. So Jax has to be very careful here. He also has this up 2. But it'll get beat out. So if you look at Jax's startup time, it's 13 frames. So I'm 2 frames faster. So you guys kind of get the idea with Johnny Cage's reset at this point. I don't think I need to show anything else. And like I said, I don't really use this shit online because I definitely can. There's a lot of shit that I do know, but I don't use online because I don't really care. If I did, then, you know, I would be playing Combat League by now, and I would be getting up there and shit like that. But I don't really care as much about the competitive side. Not like most people do. But hopefully this video was very helpful. Be on the lookout for Kodokan's video because I'm going to talk about understanding his 1-2-2 combo string, and it's going to be part 1. So yeah, I don't think there's anything else to add here. Oh wait, yeah, it is actually. I was about to fucking forget. I was about to forget. Oh my god, I can't believe that. So Johnny Cage, he has to dash up the throw. The opponent has to actually dash up the throw as well. Now, if you notice something, when it comes to the up 3 situation, Johnny Cage is blocking, right? So since Johnny Cage is actually blocking, right, you can technically take your turn if you predict Johnny Cage is going to block. And that's the moment where you can create new neutral ground. and potentially get a whiff punish if you play your cards right, and you understand how the opponent's going to respond to that, or you understand how they're going to be when you do back up and create new neutral ground, which opens up endless possibilities. And I'm going to show you why this is very important to understand, right? So, say for example, you know, Johnny decided to just, you know, he did this and then he immediately blocked. And as you can clearly see, like I told you guys before, he becomes +5, but this only applies to certain matchups. So, we're going to do the frame data real quick. So Johnny Cage has access to an advancing forward 3, which is a high, and an advancing forward 4, which is a mid. So he's being complemented, right? They both start up at 14 frames. So if you do 14 minus +5, or 5 minus +14, however way you want to do it, he'll have access to a 9 frame forward 3 and forward 4. So he'll have access to a 9 frame mid. This is the reason why I've been telling you guys Johnny Cage does not need a buff. But people don't listen to me because they see me as an asshole because I'm coming off aggressive and I'm cussing in my mic and I seem mad all the time. This is part of the reason why I'm showing you guys this video. Because Johnny Cage, in a way, even though he's playing the meta, is kind of on autopilot. He kind of carries you. Okay, whether you want to believe that or not. If you were to pick a character like Kung Lao, or pick another character that's not as safe as Johnny Cage when it comes to playing footsies, you'll notice the complete and utter difference. It seems like you can do more shit with Johnny Cage than the other character, right? Now, if you do 14 minus +5, or 5 plus 5 minus 14, that is 13, 12, 11, 10, 9. Now, I want you guys to remember that shit, and I'm telling you guys that for a reason. Right? So, you know, Johnny Cage, right? He catches you slipping, right? Goes for the 4-2-1. He does this, but then he immediately does this, right? Now, there's going to be a reason why Johnny Cage is going to do this, right? So, hold on. Johnny Cage blocks, right? Because he thinks you're going to go for the up 3, which will shut out his ability from going for the standing 2-4-4, and it will also shut out his ability to chase you down with a forward 2, or a potential forward 3, or forward 4, right? So watch this, right? So I end up getting hit, and I'm just going to hold block. Right? I'm just going to hold block. If you notice something, he's blocking, which means you can take your turn back now, and you can go for, you know, whatever fancy combo that you want with your character, right? If you manage to open up the opponent, right? So, this is very important information to understand, because if you know he's going to block, this allows you to create new neutral ground as well. So what I'll do is that I'll create new neutral ground just to show you guys what I'm talking about. So I can back up, and I can possibly get a response out of him, and I can go for my best far-reaching normal, which is technically Scorpion's back 2. And if I know he's going to let go of block right then and there, I can actually hit him with a back 2 if I predict what he's going to do here. However, I'm going to show you what Johnny Cage can do to you if he knows that you're going to create new neutral ground. So, hold on, I'm going to do that a little bit more faster. Hold on. Yeah, I fucked that up again. Why am I fucking this up? It's probably because I'm still sleepy, though. I'm trying to hurry this up. Alright, there we go. So, I hold block, right? And then I think he's going to, you know, hold block, right? And that's what I'm thinking, right? I'm thinking he's going to hold block and shit like that, right? So, you know, I decide to go for... what? You know what? I'll just create new neutral ground. That's what I'm thinking, right? See how I tried to walk backwards? So let me turn on my buttons real quick, right? I'm going to hold backwards, right? I'm holding block. And as soon as he gets to the 4-2-1, I'm gonna hold back on him. I'm gonna stop blocking. I'm gonna just stop blocking, and you're gonna notice something. See what happened? He chased you down with the advancing forward 4, which means what exactly? He's checking you. He's using that button to check your attempt to create new neutral ground. Even if you backdash, you're going to get fucked up. Now, the reason why he's going to use the 9-frame mid, right, is because you're probably going to neutral crouch. And the reason why you're going to neutral crouch is because he might go for a more damaging option instead of going for the advancing forward 4. But if he wants to shut you down completely, he can just do that. You see, there's a lot of layers to this shit. People really don't understand this shit on a higher level. And that's what's actually pretty funny to me, right? People think Johnny needs a buff. You know, you have your own opinion, but when I show you shit like this, you're going to think twice on it, aren't you? Now, what Scorpion can do, since Johnny Cage has access to a 9-frame forward 4 and forward 3, is that he can just disrespect this. The reason why is because Johnny Cage is only his startup time is 9 frames. That's it. Scorpion has access to a standing 1 and down 1 that's 7 frames on startup. So he doesn't really have to deal with this at all. So if we look, right, standing 1 is 7 frames. That'll be our best punish for this particular situation, right? Now, we have a 9-frame move, but we're not going to use that. So Scorpion's best option in this situation is going for a 7-frame standing 1. And certain other characters get better punishes than Scorpion, such as Kung Lao's 1-2 or his multi-hitting combo string off of his standing 2, right? He'll get a lot more damage than Scorpion possibly, but because I have the Misery Blade or whatever the hell you want to call it, where I can relaunch you into the air, I can get a meterless 30% very easily on you, right? So, since I know that Johnny Cage is going to chase me down with a 9-frame move, right? See that? See how I was able to hit him? So keep in mind, Scorpion has a back one that is 14 frames. I'm going to go for that back one just to confirm that Johnny Cage's forward 4 is a lot faster than 14 frames. Because if it's 14 frames, we both should trade, right? See that? It didn't trade. This is very important information to understand when you're trying to play on a high level or a competitive level just in general. So, like I said, you got a lab, and then you guys wonder why I'm always in the lab all the time and I'm not actually playing online matches consistently. It's because I'm learning shit like this on a daily basis. I know shit that some people think I don't know, but I don't talk about it at all. I let you think whatever you want to think about me. Oh, I beat GSR online. Congratulations. But if I was to actually try against you, you wouldn't like it. So as you can clearly see, 32%. Very easily. Right? Or you can keep Johnny Cage on the same side. The choice is yours. And you'll still get really good damage off of it. So the reason why I'm saying the stuff that I'm saying about, you know, people talking trash, talking about, oh, I beat GSR online, I blah, blah, blah. Most of the time, I'm not even trying to fight you. Especially when you're using certain characters, because I already know that your character is bullshit. I'm not saying my character doesn't have bullshit, but when you're running around with fucking Cabal and he's breaking neutral, right? He doesn't have to play neutral, but you have to play his neutral, and he has no flaws by gaps and all these mids, and even when he goes for highs, he's plus on block for some weird reason. You know, it starts to get really annoying, I think. Because I watched Ninja Killer's live stream a little bit, and he was going against some sweaty-ass guy that was using Cabal. And that matchup was fucking annoying as hell to watch. But Ninja Killer adapted. He ended up picking Liu Kang. He started playing smart and a little bit more patient, I noticed, because the guy was being overly aggressive. And, you know, Ninja Killer did his shit. He took advantage of that situation and beat the shit out of him. But I'll probably make a video on that as well. But I've talked for way too long. I still have to make that part 2 for understanding Kano's down 1. And I still have to make a part 2 for Scorpion as well, with his Hellport cancel. So let me know what you guys think about this extremely long video in the comment section down below. I love each and every last one of you guys. Hopefully you guys are being safe out there. And to my Apex Legends fans that are fans of my videos, I have a lot more of where that came from. I just haven't had time to edit it because I've been working my ass off. But with that being said, I'll catch you guys in the next video.